All right, so we're going to be starting a new series here. This one is it's going to be for my son for the future is the reason I'm filming it, but maybe it'll be of some use to other people. So what I'm going to be doing is going through my toolbox one drawer at a time, and I'll do one video will be one drawer so we can keep them as short and sweet as possible, and then just to learn what all those tools do. So when I get old and pass away, he'll inherit that toolbox and he'll have a good idea of what all that stuff in there does, including specialty tools. So we'll get into our first video right away. All right, as you can see, we got quite a few drawers to go through, and we're going to start off right here. Right here. All right, so what we have here is a very old school battery tester. People that worked on cars used to call these toasters because there's a big heating element in it, and that's pretty much how it tests the batteries. You hook the positive over on the other side of my thumb to the positive battery terminal, and then right here where my hand is holding is a negative terminal. You hook those to the battery, and then down on the bottom you'll see there's a switch right there. You flip that switch and you hold it for it says 10 seconds. I usually held it for 15 seconds, and it just puts a heavy draw on the battery, and then you can use that gauge right here to see where your battery falls. Of course, now they have a lot more sophisticated ways to do that, and they have computerized testing. So this is kind of a relic, but I mean, it still gets the job done all the same. All right, so here we have a tool that you use to put in deadbolts or door handles onto a door. It's a jig. You put this on the edge of the door, and then that hole right there is where you'd be drilling your holes. This is just a saw for drywall. You can use this to cut holes in the walls. All the kids watching this, do not do that without your parents' permission. Actually, don't do that at all. I don't know why your parents would give you permission to do that. This connects to a drill, and this is what you'd use to make the holes that we were talking about for doorknobs and deadbolts in a door. This is another hole saw. This one I believe is used to make the part that goes in the side of the door, the skinny part of the door, where the plunger would come out for the deadbolt or the door latch. This is a little jig for just measuring and cutting holes on the edge of the door for the strikers. All right, now into some regular real tools. This is a Craftsman auto hammer. It's a pretty old little gadget. It takes a battery here. You can see I don't have the battery in it at the moment. And then it has a button right here. And then right where my thumb is, that's a light that's going to illuminate whatever you're working on. And then the part right here, this is the auto hammer. You can see I can push it in, and you can get a brief view of the actual hammer part, the part that hits the nail. And the way this works is you find yourself a nail, you set this on top of it, so the nail is going to go in the center of that hole right there. You're going to push it down, and you're going to push that button. And that little hammer inside is going to go up and down really fast and really strong, and slowly it's going to push that nail in. This is really good if you have problems with your hands. Holding a hammer is hard for you, or if you're putting a nail in a place that's just really hard to get to and you can't get a hammer swinging in there. This is lovely for that. So that's our Craftsman auto hammer. All right, this bad boy right here, this is just an engine hone. So the part down here, this would go on your drill. And then the part on the other side, you can see I have a little band wrapped around it to keep it. If I take that band out, these things are going to go outward. And what you would do is you would put these inside the cylinder bore of an engine, and you would attach it to your drill and spin it, and then you would move this up and down the engine bore. And then these little things here are really, really fine sanding. And what they're going to do is they're going to smooth out the cylinder bore, so when you're putting an engine together, before you put the pistons in there, this is going to smooth that out and make it the perfect surface for your pistons. All right, moving on. This is another old one. This is a very old handheld pipe bender. So you can see it has some little races right here. This is where you would put your pipe. So this is for bending pretty small stuff, maybe some air conditioning lines at the biggest, but mainly like brake lines and stuff like that. And what you would do is you would slide this part, either slide your pipe inside of here, or you can slide this thing over the pipe if it's attached somewhere, and then you just simply take this and you're gonna rotate it around, and it's gonna bend your pipe around these little wheels here. And you would basically use whatever part of this is the same size as the pipe or tube that you're bending. So this is a tube bender. I don't have any tubing here that I could demonstrate, so you'll have to take my word for it. All right, so let's put this bad boy down. All right, let's pick up this one. Get this out of the way. Get that out of the way. Alrighty, now we have a crazy looking contraption. This is a pulley. So this can pull a multitude of different things. On this end is a hex nut. You would put a ratchet or a drill driver or maybe an impact on here depending on what you're pulling. And as you turn that, it's going to move. Let me see if I can open it up here. It's going to turn the shaft there either in or out. So right now I'm moving it out, so this would be what you do before you attach it to something. And then these little arms, you can see they have hooks on the side, and you could change these around. You could take this bolt out right here and flip this little thing around, because this side is shorter and this side is longer depending on what you need for the job and what you're pulling. So once you have it adjusted properly, you're gonna put these hooks in a circle. They're going to grab on kind of like this to what you're trying to pull, and then this part will be in the center, and then as you crank this bolt down, it's going to push this shaft out here. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull, when the center shaft pushes in, it's going to pull these little claws out and remove the pulley or crank or whatever it is you're trying to remove. So a lot of this stuff I know would work a lot better if I had something to give an example of and I could put it on something and show you, but unfortunately I don't, so I'll just have to go through it pretty quickly. Now this one here is a pretty cool tool. Let me get this out real quick. Alright, see at this end it has a little T-handle, and then it has a big thing right there, looks like a weight, and then there's a long pole, and at the top of the pole is some threads. So what you do, let me set this up here really quick, move some stuff around, make some room. It's a little messy right now because I've been working on our vehicle. All right, put that there. So a couple of different things you can put on here. One of the things is you can put on an attachment like this. That part right there would screw on the end, and then you see again, just like that other tool, this one has some hooks on the end, so you can put it inside of something, adjust it outward, and use that to pull out. One of the more common things that you would use this particular tool for is you would put this on there. And you can use this to pull hubs behind wheels. You could even pull a steering wheel. You can pull engine parts. But basically you would put this on whatever it is you're trying to pull, and then you would bolt it in the available bolts. It's a little bit adjustable, so all you really need to use is either these two bolts, or sometimes these three work too. And then once you have this part bolted in, you would screw this on to the end of this shaft right here of our tool. Alright, so what I've done here is I've attached this tool to my vise. Since I don't have anything I need to pull, I'm just going to attach it to the vise and demonstrate how it works. And this is called a slide hammer. And again, the T up here, you can use that to help you turn it when you're attaching the threads to something, or you can use it to position it or hold it. No dead on specific use. And you'll notice here there's a little knot. That knot doesn't allow this slide to go any higher than that. So it can go downward as far as what you've attached it to, but it can't go any higher than this. So what you do is you're going to attach this to something you want to remove, something that's on really good, and this part is basically your hammer. So you're going to take this and you're going to slide it, and every time it hits that little knot at the end, you can tell it's hitting it like a hammer. So basically it's hammering itself off. So that's how the slide hammer works. All right, we'll see what else we got in this drawer today. All right, the only thing we have left in this particular drawer and for this video is we have this. This is an attachment that can go on the end of that slide hammer. And you can see on the other end, you can put a screw. So what you would do with this is you could take this, screw it into something. See, it'll slide down so you can get to the top of the screw. And then you could screw this into something, attach your slide hammer here, and then bam, 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 you could use it to pull it out. So sometimes they do that with things like dents in cars or messed up pieces in wood. So that's what this particular attachment would be for. And then we have an attachment here. This would go on the end of the slide hammer too, and you can see it's got a hook. You could just take this, put it somewhere, and lift it up so it would catch right here, and then slide hammer that out. So you could use this for bearings and seals, to pull out stubborn bearings and seals. And I believe this is the last attachment. This, as you can see, it doesn't have all the little arms on it because it's part of the other tool we looked at with the two little arms. Let me get that out one more time. All right, this one here that we looked at earlier, these two arms come off, and you can add them to this, which would have 3 arms. So again, the slide hammer would attach here. Your first arm, you can see this one is attached, and then the other 2 arms would go in these empty spots. And then you can attach this to things. You can see the little grabber feet. So you could attach this to something different, a little bit different use than the one with 2. Attach your slide hammer and bam, 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 pull it right out. So that's it for this particular drawer. So we're gonna close the case on this one, close it up. Perfect. All right, so that's our first drawer and all the tools that are in it and what they do. Now we got a lot of drawers that are going to be very interesting, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that you're not going to have any idea what it's for until we explain it. And then there's going to be simple drawers full of everyday tools that you've probably seen quite a few times, and at least if you haven't used them, you probably got a good idea what they're for. So look forward to making more videos. Look forward to you guys being able to watch and see what all these different tools do. And we'll see you on the next time.